The Yankees do get a big 14-2 victory yesterday. A little help too from the Philadelphia Phillies. Finally, after they were down 3-0 late to the Toronto Blue Jays, end up winning in extra innings. So the Yankees with the win, with the Blue Jays loss, magic number down to number 8, the one, the only, Tony, Yogi Berra, number 8, to clinch that division. So you feel really, really good about that. And it was an electric atmosphere last night. I don't think, we'll ever see, quite, a Wednesday night game against the Pirates be that, the atmosphere it just felt like it was a playoff game. Obviously, everybody anticipating that 61st home run from Aaron Judge. And we didn't get that, but Judge did have a couple hits, and the Yankees scored plenty of runs, like I mentioned, 14 to be exact. And then we had the return of Luis Severino, who really pitched a solid game, got through 5 innings for the win. But as far as, how this game played out, the Yankees jumped on the board first inning. Judge had singled, Glaber and Stanton on, and Oswaldo Cabrera hits his first major league grand slam. And the Yankees become the first team ever to hit a walk-off grand slam, and then the following game hit a grand slam in the first inning. So you think about how long baseball has been around. It's kind of amazing that, they're able to do that, jump out to that lead. So that kind of really took the pressure, off of Luis Severino, who looked electric. I saw him hitting like 96 on the gun, 97. So his final stat line, 5 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, and the 6 strikeouts. 6th victory of the season. ERA sits at 3.36. The only run he gave up was on a Cabrian Hayes sacrifice fly.
Cabrian?
Is it Cabrian?
I don't know.
I believe
sounds
so.
Right. That sounds about
right.
Yeah.
We
got Chokri, by the way. Good morning, guys. What a game last night. Go Yankees.
Appreciate Chokri tuning in. And it's funny, he was texting me yesterday. He's talking about how he loves the early morning sports report. Everybody can listen to it on their drive to work. We appreciate, Chokri and others, joining us this morning. Best way to start your day with some sports and some New York sports. That's what it's all about. Obviously, too, we know Chokri's excited about the Steelers getting back on the gridiron later tonight. So we'll be sure to touch on that. So that was the only run Louis had given up. And then really for the Yankees after that, really just smooth sailing the whole way. To finish out the game, they went Litke for 2, Marinaccio for 1, Weissert for 1. And the combination of them, 3 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, and 5 strikeouts. So getting the job done, saving the big guns. And so, after that sacrifice fly, you had Glaber singling in Judge in the 5th, and it was crazy. I think it was the 5th inning where Judge, he hit one, and I thought it was going to be it. He connected with it, but just not high enough, died at the wall for a double. So everyone's like, oh, and like you see that on my Instagram story. So
classic.
Hey, but we'll take the hits. Obviously, just hats off to all the good stuff he's doing. So Cabrian Hayes gives the Pirates another run off of Lickey in the 6th inning to make it 6-2. But then the 8th inning, the Yankees score 8 runs. Gleyber Torres goes deep not once but twice in the same inning. Not too many people have done that. I think in the whole history of the Yankees, it's been over 100 seasons. I want to say maybe they said 9 guys have done that. So really not too many when you think about all the people that have played for the Yankees. So he homers to start the scoring, a solo shot. Then Oswaldo Cabrera with a double, scoring Donaldson. And then Bader doubles, scoring Cabrera and Stanton. So that made it 10-2. Trevino with a double to make it 11-2. And then Glaber to just finish it off, a 3-run homer, 14-2. So the balls were flying out left and right. Tons of runs here for the Yankees, and they end up picking up their 90th victory of the season. And I mentioned how, they, with the Blue Jays loss, so now the division is 6.5 game lead over them, 8.5 out of Tampa, who's really out of it, at this point. and that magic number down to 8. So everything lining up for the Yankees. And you look at it this weekend, long series with the Red Sox at home. A team obviously that's done for this year. So that's a good opportunity to really wrap up this division, come next week. But obviously with some help too, that'll make it even easier. And then you can focus on where you're going to fall, who you're going to play in that division series, and getting that bye. I just feel like is so big. So all in all, just a great night at the stadium. It was great to be there. Obviously it was a shame Judge didn't hit one out, but at the end of the day, it's all about the team success here. And I just like how the Yankees have really turned it around. After that tough stretch that they had, about a month and a half stretch, where they just could not get out of their own way. And it just seems like the biggest thing here is the offense really waking up. And I know, against the Pirates team, but they couldn't score any runs against any team. So it's just refreshing to see. And I really liked what I saw out of Severino. I think he's going to be so big, this postseason, because you think about what Cole brings you, think about what Nestor brings you. To have Louis as your 3 starter, I think that's a luxury most teams don't have. So really, really excited, and can't wait for this 4-game set. And hopefully we get a game in tonight. I know it's supposed to clear up later. I just don't know. I mean, I know they do have a good drainage system over there. So, maybe they're able to just get it in despite all this rain. What do you think, honestly? Because I think it's supposed to stop at 4. They're saying so. Game not till 7, but a lot of rain.
Yeah.
Till then,
So 4 o'clock has about a 30% chance of rain. So you think, maybe it'll end a little sooner than that as well.
Right.
So you might get a little lucky here, Brian.
And I mean, with the drainage systems these days, I mean, unless it's literally like we're talking 3 inches of rain, like
Right.
you're fine, basically.
Yeah. Love the drainage.
Dude,
great drainage.
I mean, I think I've heard though the Yankees and the Mets, 2 of the best drainage systems in the league.
Are you pushing my buttons?
No, that's serious.
Really?
Yeah. Since they went over to the new stadiums, because I think that was the problem with the old ones, where the water would just sit there, because what they would do too, tarp on the field, dump it in like right field, and then it would just sit there. You see Paul O'Neill sliding around in right field.
Poor Paul O'Neill, dude.
Did you see O'Neill Cruz, who was named after him, was actually FaceTiming with Paul O'Neill?
Yeah.
How'd that make you feel before the game? Pretty cool, honestly.
You think Cruz is gonna be a Yankee?
It's possible. I think he would
relish the opportunity.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's obviously must have been his childhood team. I haven't looked too much into it, but just thought that was cool. But
how many do you think? How many home runs do you think Aaron Judge ends with this season?
So I mean, you think about it, he's got 60. So right now, let's see, there's 148 games, so there's 14 games left. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a 64, 65 area. Yeah. 65 kind of seems like a nice round number,
It does seem like a nice round number. I don't know, they can go for more than that.
He could. It just, it's all obviously circumstantial. And, it starts with getting number 61, because I think once you get 61, 62, those are the pressure home runs.
Right. And then after that,
it's like you're kind of relaxed and just kind of having fun out there. So we will see, Tony. But so that's what I got for the Yankees tonight. Taijuan Walker, if we get it in. Unbelievable, with the Red Sox, the terrible year that they're having, this terrible pitching that they've had, but yet Michael Wacha missed a little time, but 11-1, 2.61. I mean, you watched him, when he pitched for the Mets. I mean, did you ever think this was even remotely possible?
No, not really.
He just always like trash, like worse than Trevor Williams, like
basically on the same level, more or less.
Yeah. So we'll see if we get that one in, and we will talk about it in a little bit. But if you would, Tony, if you could enlighten us on the Mets game from yesterday afternoon.
Yeah, so tough loss for the Mets yesterday. They fell to the Brewers 6-0, and to be honest, I was doing the gaming corner when the game started. It was a 2 o'clock game, whatever it was, 2:15, 2:20. And, before we started coming into the live stream with some live updates, I was following on my phone. It looked pretty promising. He was talking about it too, like Nimmo leadoff hit, Nimmo steals second, Nimmo hurts his hamstring. Nimmo leaves the game at the first inning. So obviously, someone like Nimmo who, I mean, he's not the greatest player, but he's made some significant strides on defense in terms of playing center field. He's got a decent arm. He's like I mentioned, he's kind of developed into a really good center field. Not to mention, his bat is good to lead off the lineup. For the most part, he's got speed. He can steal, which is what he was doing yesterday, and you obviously love to see that. But him being injured is pretty tough. It certainly was a loss to the lineup. In terms of updates, I believe, Buck said that he should be good to go, but he's going to undergo some more testing today, just to kind of feel it out. But after that, things were basically a pitcher's duel. There was no scoring to the 6th inning. And Taijuan Walker was looking really good. His final line ended up being 6 innings, 6 hits, 4 earned runs, 3 walks, 3 Ks. And going into the 6th inning, like I mentioned, he looked like his location was good. He had a few walks, that was fine towards the end there. And then he had no earned runs to the 6th inning and gives up 1 home run to Willie Adames, I believe it was. And that obviously put the Brewers up 1-0, but you're thinking, hey, you know what, Walker, this is the 6th inning. He's been pitching really well. Just 1 earned run. Nothing crazy. But then he gets into some more trouble here. And Buck ends up pulling him just because he was giving up hits left and right. Unable to kind of get an out in the 7th inning right away. He's giving up hits. So David Peterson comes in. I believe he comes in with 3 bases were loaded. I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then Peterson gives up the slam, I believe, to who? Oh no, he was a single, and then Brosu. I'm not sure how to say his name.
Mike
Brasu.
I think it Brasso. He used to play on the Rays.
Yeah, Brasso.
And actually just got a notification from Chokery. I believe he has a new comment.
Oh yeah. I guess because it's all about Aaron Judge. He thinks he will finish with 67 home runs, which is kind of like what I was.
So that's one every other day. But there might be a situation, especially against like the Red Sox, for instance, where he might hit 2 in a game, 3 in a game, and that really accelerates how many he'll finish with. So definitely an educated guess there by Chokery.
Oh yeah, certainly. Which is fine. A nice educated guess, as we also have Buffer clocking in with the hay. Honestly, kind of surprised, Buffer. Normally you're in here right away.
In it right away, but also there's just more to say.
Yeah,
but
more to say. It's
Yankee
a good
win.
Morning. It's a hello Barnes, hello Tony.
But I chirp about the Yankees, and there's nothing to chirp about today. I think that's why he's a little on the quiet side.
No, yeah, that's fine, dude. So anyway, as we're watching the Brewers, they got the slide going on, the big home run. I think this is Adames' home run to give him the 1-0. Yeah. After that, Peterson comes in and of course, he gives up I think a 2 RBI single and the home run. So, realistically here, yeah, like Taijuan Walker struggled in the end here, but he got no help from the bullpen, and his line is, a lot worse than what it actually seems. You know what I'm saying? Like, he left the game only giving up 1 earned run. And he did pretty well, honestly. I think he kind of held his own down. Yeah, he got in trouble into that 7th inning. But I don't think it's too crazy to ask your bullpen to come in for you and get a couple outs, especially when they're fresh, especially against this Brewers lineup. So,
I think we have a couple more comments.
Yeah, we got Main Magic Mike coming in. Barnes needs season tickets via the Yankees for being their good luck charm all season, he says.
Michael, once again, hitting it on the head. It's unbelievable.
Oh my God,
that thoughtful insight that Michael brings on a daily basis, and that's why we love him.
And Buffer says it started raining on my way to the golf course. I had to run home. I believe that, dude.
Yeah.
It's fucking pouring out there now. I hear the thunder and the lightning.
Oh yeah, no, it's a little crazy right now.
Jesus,
but
dude.
I really didn't take Prefer for such a big golfer. I mean, he just kind of started mentioning stuff about golf to us.
Well, maybe you're a very inspiring man, and you've inspired him, to hit the course. Dude.
I mean, at one point, that's what I did to Michael. I mean, he was really into it last year. The driving range.
Yeah.
But There's always next season.
Anyway, back to the Mets. Okay.
Whoa!
So
did you just see that lightning?
that lightning?
Bolt?
Yeah, I thought I blinked real quick. Honestly.
Wait, no. Wait, what's? Oh, I thought that was a strike. Strike 3. That sounds like something Dave would play.
Yeah, no, definitely. Strike 3. And I bet Dave was an ump when he was a teenager too.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
Definitely achieving
Yeah.
it hard.
Oh my god.
Ground
dude.
rules before the game.
Yeah.
Oh, my
god. All right, let's focus. Okay, Brian.
We're focused.
We're focused.
Dialed in. We're
so anyway, Walker, you know, his line didn't kind of dictate how decent his start was. Of course, bullpen absolutely fucking blows it with David Peterson, with Drew Smith. I mean, you know, these are two guys, Peterson, who again, you know, I talked about Peterson and how he was doing well, either out of the bullpen after a while or as a starter after a while, and now they keep moving him around again. And I said this before, like you can't do that to him. Like he just can't handle the transition very well. So it's like stick him in one spot and fucking keep him there. I understand, like you're struggling with injuries, with Carrasco being injured, with Scherzer possibly leaving, oblique stuff, whatever. But like, just keep Peterson in the bullpen. Like let him go in there, let him do well in the bullpen. If you switch him around, he's not good at both. What good is he at all? Throw someone else as a starter, throw Lugo in there who can do it, or even Ottavino, who we've seen go a couple innings, or even Williams, if that's who you want to use. But don't use David Peterson. Stick him in the bullpen, keep him there, let him get comfortable, because we see when he gets switched around, we see an outing like this where he only gets 2 outs in an inning, gives up the inherited runs for Walker. It's only 1K, walks a guy, is all over the place, no location, confused. Okay, no good. And in my opinion, Drew Smith just fucking sucks. Okay,
and I don't know what you thought here, but I'm, Rick and Dave, they were like kind of ripping Buck. Saying, this guy hasn't pitched since July. You're putting him in a big spot. You need to win the game. You can gain a game on the Braves, and you just throw him in there. Do you think that was poor decision making by Showalter?
Yeah, I think so. And we've seen a few bad calls by Showalter, I feel like, this season. This was certainly one of them. I mean, I understand, like, obviously you're not using Ottavino. I guess you wouldn't use Trevor May either, but I would have. You could throw Lugo in there. Like, why not?
Yeah,
you're off today. Are they not? Right? I'm pretty sure the Mets are off today.
I will double check that.
I could be wrong, but I think they start Oakland tomorrow.
Right? The Mets, the New York Mets.
Oh
and God. You know what I mean? Anytime you just need something quick, Tony.
All right, so today the Mets are off. Gosh, dude. Can't rely on anyone for anything, dude.
I feel like they haven't been to the Coliseum in a while.
No, definitely not.
So
that would be nice.
Is there a Chris Bassett reunion start on the horizon?
Friday.
Back home. Oh, it is Friday.
Friday starting, bud.
Okay.
Yeah.
Versus Cole Irvin.
Yeah, can't wait for that. I think he's going to be dialed in for that. He's going to want to look good. Also, it is smart to mention, I believe, 5th inning. Jeff McNeil, who's playing center field for Nimmo. Well, no, it wasn't 5th. It must have been 7th, because I think it was Brousseau's fucking
grand slam. But playing center field, but I mean, he doesn't play center field, right? Wasn't that just out of necessity? Or
yeah, basically. But he's played outfield before,
right? Just not center.
Yeah, just not
a
center.
Left fielder.
Yeah. So he tried to catch this ball, fucking slammed into the wall, wrist injury. Obviously, someone you don't want injured at all, but certainly late in a game where you're trailing, because he's been known to kind of spark some good at bats, not only for himself but for his teammates. He's batting like 320, 318, something like that. Buck said he's fine, but he looked pretty banged up with that wrist, hitting that wall. So I guess we'll kind of see again today. Very important rest day for the Mets here. As Brian mentioned, the Braves did lose yesterday, so not much harm there. However, it would have been nice to get the game up on them, as they, had trouble with the Nationals. But nonetheless, we have an off day, rest, recoup. You're in the same position you were yesterday before the loss. So let's get into Oakland. Let's crack some skulls. Let's get excited, okay? Because the division is still in the horizon for us, especially with the Braves on a little bit of a skid here. Kind of crazy.
And Dave was just voicing his frustrations this morning, just how it's like, how is it that every single time the Mets lose or win, the Braves like seem to mirror them.
Also do the same thing. I know, it's crazy.
So it's just like that's why they've kind of stayed at that one game for a little bit here. And he was also pointing to, I guess, the Mets finish at home with Washington. Braves have to go to Miami, and that's why I remember I was saying the thing about how DiPietro would try to get the other team like messed up, and that's why Dave was saying, "Oh, should we send some guys over to Miami?" Like, and it's just like, I don't know. I feel like you can send as many guys as you want. Like the Marlins with their 5,000 fans aren't going to stop the Braves.
Yeah, true.
A lot of distractions in Miami, though. That is true.
Oh, no, that's true, dude. Come on, the beach, the girls, the drinking,
the exotic cuisine.
Exotic cuisine. Is there exotic cuisine over there?
I mean everything, Tony. Just a complete mix.
Of,
not just minced
a
meat.
melting pot of different cultures and types
all
of food.
Brought together, all the best quality chefs.
Really?
You can't beat it. Yeah, I haven't really been there too much, but that's what I've heard.
Oh, it's funny, dude.
Number 99, Aaron Judge.
So that's great. I guess we gotta get down to Miami, huh? Maybe we can go down for the Braves game.
Oh man, just a winter or a late fall Florida trip would just be out of this world. Very good there. I mean, very good weather there.
That's right here. A couple comments that Brian's going to enjoy. So anyway, we need Peterson, McGill, and Drew Smith to learn quickly. Showalter saw the Braves lost, and he had room to play around and experiment. I suppose. I mean, did the Braves lose before this like seventh inning here?
Yes, they did.
They did.
Well, I know it was before the game was over. Actually, I'm not sure.
Timetable, but I mean, I guess so. And I suppose you're down 6-0, so maybe Buck chalks up as a loss. Obviously, Buck knows more than us, but I just feel like Drew Smith hasn't really shown you much to be like we can kind of get this guy in shape for the playoffs. McGill, I could see using. He's been good before. He's had an unfortunate stint in terms of injuries. And Pearson is, like I said, someone who, use him in the bullpen, keep him there, use him. Like he'll be good once he understands his role. But the guy's a fucking lost puppy over there. And then Prefer says after the Yankees got destroyed by the Brewers, Mets looking good, winning 2 out of 3 games.
Didn't look too good last night.
But he's saying that like in hindsight, the whole picture series.
1-game lead. Got shut out last night. Couple injuries to deal with. I don't know why I prefer still.
Well, big
poking the bear, Tony.
Big rest day today. They come out Friday. They're fine. Oakland.
Big rest day, but isn't Nimmo going to go on the IL?
No. Testing today, seeing what's going on.
What about Neil?
Buck has said both are expected to play on Friday.
Are you buying it?
Yeah, Buck's an honest man.
I don't know, but Nimmo, I mean,
hamstring. Come on, dude.
Injury history.
No, he'll be fine. He stays loose out there.
I don't know, especially against the A's. I think they don't want to chance it, and that could come back to bite because the A's, we've seen them. The Mariners again losing to them yesterday.
Yeah, Mariners aren't that good though.
But they are.
Who was pitching for them? Fucking Robbie Ray?
No.
Who was not Robbie Ray? It was Castillo Gilbert, 2 days ago.
Castillo. Now we gotta look it up. I feel like you always want to beat me to it with the research.
Well, yeah, obviously it's a race.
Not Marco Gonzalez, right?
Don't think so. Mariners lost 2-1. Pitcher.
Oh, Swanson?
Robbie Ray.
Oh, Ray was okay. James Caprillion getting the win. Outstanding for him. Well, 7 innings, no one runs, 6 Ks, 1 walk, 2 hits. That's literally the best start of his career.
Easily.
But if you look at it, I mean, the Mariners bullpen just let down Robbie Ray. I mean, he had 6 scoreless innings, 7 strikeouts.
And this guy Swanson comes in, could not get an out. 2 hits, 2 earned runs.
Could not get out of his own way.
Literally. Especially when your name is like Eric with a K on it, you idiot.
Former Yankee farmhand.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, good thing they got rid of him, huh?
Yeah, right? Whole organization there.
It's trash.
So wow. I don't know if you took a look though. The pick segment, a little rough for you last night.
Oh my God. I don't think I won anything, dude.
Yeah, I think 0-4.
Fuck
So
me.
17-21 for you. I go 3-1. Just the Twins couldn't get the job done against the Royals, but I hit with the Yankees, Phillies, Astros. And then you lost with the Mets, Cardinals, Dodgers, and Mariners. So I'm 19-15-1, 17-21 for you. But there's always the next day, Tony. So here we are, Thursday, decent amount of games. I feel like I'm just trying to pull up the exact number here. If you just bear with me for a second. I know Thursday we always like the afternoon game. So yeah, we got 205, 210, 310, 337. Yeah, so we have enough
It's like 13 games.
for each. So I'm sure you want to be very strategic here to gain a couple games back. So just kind of interested to see where you go first with the
I know,
picks.
and I was doing so well too with the strategy and everything. Fucking fucking Blake Snell. Okay. I think my first pick here. Oh man. All right, I'm gonna go with the Pirates today, I think.
Wow.
Talk about strategy. Mitch Keller on the mound for the Pirates. We've seen what he's done as of late. Chicago. Hayden Wesneski.
Former Yankee farmhand
I was
came
gonna
over in the
say,
Afro trade.
right? I suppose he's been okay so far.
Limited action.
Very limited action. But I feel like, in that limited action, he's giving up 2 home runs. Big home runs, I believe, too. They were fucking like big mistakes, bombs, center field. Home runs that get you shaken up a little bit. And I feel like this Wesneski guy, along with the theme that, the farmhands that the Yankees have given up have been struggling. And I feel like, we're going to continue to see that with Hayden Wesneski tonight. And then Mitch Keller's going to pitch a decent game. And then the Pirates, who have some offensive capabilities, obviously we've seen them a little bit, scoring here and there against the Yankees, scoring against the Mets. Obviously aiming to, end a little bit of the skid that they're on right now, because they're on like a, I don't know, 7-game losing streak, I think. But law of averages, Kellerman, let's see it. Pirates win this one. I'm going to say 3-1.
I think that's a really good strategy because I think when people are making picks, they just look at records of the team and they don't think about pitchers, and they also just look at the pitcher statistics and they don't take a deep dive. If you looked at Mitch Keller's stats and you looked at Hayden Wesneski's stats, you'd say, well, I mean, Keller's pitched all season. He's been mediocre. Wesneski's had a couple outings. He's pitched well. The Cubs should run away with this one. But if they actually watch the games, look deeper into the numbers, they would see Mitch Keller has been pitching like, could we say easily a top 15 pitcher in baseball?
Yeah.
Just over his last couple starts. Obviously
Absolutely.
not more extended than that.
Yeah.
So I think hats off to you, Tony, for that one, honestly.
Thanks, Brian.
Really using the noggin over there.
Bud.
We mentioned it before. The Yankees, Red Sox, 4-game series starts tonight. Hopefully we'll get it in with this rain. A lot of times too, it's gonna rain all day, and then after an hour it's done, it's sunny. So hopefully that's what happens. Field's in good condition. We talked about the drainage system. So we got Jameson Taillon, 13-5, 4.04 versus former Met legend Michael Wacha, 11-1, 2.61. So you look at this, the Red Sox 72-76 here, 4 under on the road. Yankees, one of the best teams in the league at home, 52 up, 22 down. So really taking care of business. And obviously we've seen them, you think about the last 2 nights scoring 23 runs. So clearly offense clicking. And I know, against the Pirates, pitching's not that great. But neither is the Red Sox, and the Yankees here sitting with that magic number, Yogi, number 8, looking to get it at least to Mickey Mantle or Joe Torre tonight, 7 or 6. And I think Taillon right now has a lot to prove, because we're getting close to the postseason. You never know where they'll go here because let's say they decide, okay, we want Herman as a 4 starter. they might. We can't assume that Tyone will even be on the postseason roster just because they might say, "Oh, we want a bunch of matchup guys, bullpen guys. Tyone's not really going to pitch." I think though, and I'm actually just curious before I get to my prediction here. Do you think it's a lock that they have him regardless, like a just in case long reliever, eating up innings? Like, do you think you have to carry him on the roster even
Yeah,
if, yeah,
absolutely.
just as an insurance policy? But
Oh
I
yeah.
think he wants to show these next couple starts that he deserves to get that start in the division series. But nevertheless, I think tonight might be scoreless early. I could see after 3 innings, 0-0. And then, we will see the Yankees get a couple runs on the board. And I think, unfortunately, one game too early, Judge will hit number 61 tonight, tying Roger Maris. So let's say that's the 4th inning there. So
Wouldn't you rather see 62?
Yeah, so I have a chance for that on Sunday. So we'll see if we get that. And so that'll start off the scoring. I think at the end of the day, Tyone will go 6 innings, 2 earned, 5 strikeouts, 5 hits, 2 walks, picking up his 14th victory of the year. And I want to say the Yankees in this one 7-4 over the Red Sox. Clay Holmes, they give him yet another shot at the closer spot here. And he does a little 1, 2, and 3. Obviously, 3-run lead, not as much pressure, no runners on because we've seen him struggle when he comes in with runners on, give up a hard grounder.
Right.
And Anthony Rizzo really looked lost at the plate last night. Give him a home run tonight. Stanton obviously has been slumping as well, other than that granny. Give him one. So 7-4 Yankees. Magic number down to the Mick, down to number 7.
Wow, dude. We will see. All right. Anyway, so my next pick, I'm gonna go with the Braves tonight. We've seen it before where the Braves go on a nice, I don't know, they have like a 6-game winning streak, I think, and then they just lost last night to the Nationals. And they have time to reset. We've also seen, as Brian was talking about, how the Braves tend to mirror the Mets. It seems that when the Mets do have their days off, the Braves do get the dub. So, and I would say, again, I mean, understand that, they lost to the Nationals last night. That doesn't mean much to me, to be honest. Max Fried on the mound tonight against the Phillies, against Ranger Suarez. I feel like, Suarez, who's had some good starts this season, obviously not as good as a pitcher as Max Fried. And also, the Braves just swept Philly. Philly has been absolutely they've gotten pummeled, I think, all season by the Mets and the Braves, absolutely doing, trash against their, 2 top divisional opponents here. So I don't think they have much of a chance at all. The Braves, like I mentioned, had their number. I think Max Fried will pitch well. I think they're going to hit well against Ranger Suarez. And I think the Braves are going to roll into a victory. 7-2 tonight. Easy.
So you're okay? Half game here?
I mean, am I okay with it? No, I'm not ecstatic about it, but I mean, do I think the Braves are going to win? Yeah.
All right. We will see, Tony.
Pick segment, strategy.
Pick segment.
This is non-biases here.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. And like you said, you root for the Braves in the World Series.
Yeah.
It's still hard for me to, I don't know, grasp that one. What about Marlins? I know it happened when you were young, but
I don't know. I mean, probably not. I don't really like the Marlins that much.
But what Marlins
like
Yankees?
the
If
Braves.
you were
Marlins
tuned
Yankees
in, 03, Beckett.
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, Marlins, dude.
Wow. What do you think ends up happening there with the Marlins? Do they ever move? I know that stadium's not that old, but just no one goes there. They have to be just bleeding cash.
Yeah, they might. But where are they going? Like, what are they doing?
I mean, there's so many hot spots. You think about Las Vegas, you think about Nashville,
right?
You think
so
about
they're moving out of the division.
Charlotte.
Well, Charlotte would be,
Yeah, but we've also seen with sports. I mean, this whole geographic division thing. I mean, at this point, everything is just nationwide.
Right.
But I don't know. Don't you think though? I mean, it's a shame too because Miami obviously a big area, but just Florida people, is it as simple to say that they just want to be outside, like at the beach or on a boat, and that's why they don't go to these games?
Honestly, I guess if I was in Miami, I'd be going to games all the fucking time, dude.
Right.
And when you think about it, Miami, I mean, it's gotta be like a good hot spot for like young like baseball talent. Obviously, you can play baseball all year long. You got players from the DR coming on, from Puerto Rico coming along. Like, come on, dude. Like Miami should be popping. Should have a great market for baseball. You would think. Barnes was just talking about the tourist attractions with the chefs and the food and the beach, the distractions. I mean, I would love to go to Miami. I would love to be a Marlins fan. If I was in Miami, if I was from Miami, I'd be a Marlins fan. Hardcore.
Yeah.
And it'd probably be dope. They have sweet jerseys. You get some young talent on the team. I mean, come on,
And
dude.
then you have the retractable roof. I mean, that
Yeah.
was, when they used to play where the Dolphins did, that was like the qualm. Well, first of all, this is a football stadium. Second of all, it rains, it's hot. We don't want to be outside. And it's like, here we are, best of both worlds. And they try to use, because I guess the stadium is located in Little Havana. So it's not the best part of Miami. I guess there's been some crime issues. And then
Oh, really?
on top of that, I guess it's just not as far as just access, getting there, traffic, all of that. But it just seems like a bunch of bull because, if it's the Mets, if it's the Yankees, no matter what the difficulties are, Tony, we're getting to the stadium and we're not using that as an excuse. Then that means that you weren't a fan to begin with.
That's true. I mean, when you think about it, though, I mean, Citi Field and Yankee Stadium are very easily accessible, even to people outside the state or outside the city, I should say. It's accessible to us.
You think Preferred knows a couple of drunken sailors?
Definitely. Prefer says Miami needs better ownership. Spend like a drunken sailor.
Yeah.
I would imagine that Prefer wants to be an owner.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Gotta be. Although the way he drinks, Also,
Jack.
Bronx 718 says Yankees.
Gentleman Jack.
All day.
Let's go, buddy.
Thanks for tuning in, Bronx. We'll see, dude.
Yeah, the gift that keeps on giving, the New York Yankees. Anyway, Tony.
There's more picks to make here, dude.
Yeah. Astros, Orioles, Verlander, Bradish.
Dude,
I mean, really, that should be
money.
enough for me to say. Obviously, I'm going Astros here. Verlander, 17-3, 1.78. I mean, what is he, Bob Feller? And at this advanced age, 39 years old, to be able to put up those type of numbers, have that type of velocity, have that type of strikeout stuff. Astros will get win number 100 tonight. The season that could have been for the Baltimore Orioles. We've seen them consistently have like the worst record in the league, since they were in the playoffs back in 2012. Can we say that?
Yeah.
And here we are. And they were very close. They trade Mancini, at the deadline, and they've completely collapsed, but they haven't accelerated themselves in a position to make the playoffs. So I think Verlander, does his thing. 7 innings, 10 strikeouts, 1 earned run. Astros put a couple on the board early. 6-3 Astros.
Love it. My next pick, I'm going to pick the Brewers, actually. They're playing the Reds. Brandon Woodruff on the mound. He's had quite a few, good starts this season. Most recently was his most recent start actually against the Yankees. In the win, he went 8 innings, I think 11 Ks, 1 earned run, something like that. 5 hits, 1 walk, 1 earned run off a home run. And before that was actually against Cincinnati. Brewers won 7-6, but Woodruff's line was 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 10 Ks. So I mean, obviously he's been really good. Hunter Green on the mound for the Reds. Had a big IL stint, I think, a month ago. Came back, struggled a little bit. But his last 2 starts, I think, have been really good. His last start actually was against St. Louis. It was a 1-0 loss, but he pitched 6 innings, 11 Ks, no earned runs. However, before that, Miami, it was 6-2 earned. That's fine. But then against St. Louis again, 5 innings, 4 earned runs. So he's kind of been more down than up, I suppose. And I think with Woodruff, with the offense that Milwaukee can kind of produce, we saw it last night against the Mets. I feel like the Brewers can walk into this one, 5-1. Take it.
Yeah. I like that one. So we will mark Tony down for Milwaukee as they try to get into the postseason here. So for me, disappointing loss yesterday. I guess actually, what is it, Tony? They've lost 2 out of 3 so far to the Diamondbacks. So they lost
the Dodgers
first game of the doubleheader.
Yeah.
or was it the second? No, the
Second
second
game
game
of
of the doubleheader.
doubleheader.
And then they lost last night. Julio Urias
Crazy.
on the hill tonight versus
You
Zach
taking him?
Gallen. Gotta take him.
Zach Gallen's a pretty good pitcher, though.
Good pitcher, 12-3, 2.52. Never hear about him. You wouldn't know
never
him
do.
in a country mile,
Arizona.
if you saw him.
How far is a country mile?
I would say if a regular mile is a mile, country. Does that mean a country mile is 50?
Is that true?
No, that's an expression. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just because a country mile, you're out in the middle of nowhere. There's just land forever. You know what I'm saying? That makes sense.
No, yeah, that makes sense. But I'm gonna Google it just in case.
Yeah. So I think they're disappointed, and I think they come out guns a-blazing tonight. Mookie Betts and Trey Turner, 3 hits apiece. Dodgers, I want to say 8-3 over the Diamondbacks. Urias, I'm going to say 7 innings, 10 strikeouts, 2 earned runs as the Dodgers pick up their 104th victory of the season, a historic season for the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Country mile is a figure of speech.
There we go.
However, there's no exact distance on the country mile, but they do say that it is longer than a regular mile because country roads are winding and hilly and stuff like that. So
that's to the length.
That's the length, dude. So yeah,
you got number 4.
Oh, my bad. I thought that was it for me.
Yeah.
Wow, I can't count, huh? All right, so my number 4. Who did you just pick? You picked the Dodgers.
Yeah,
you fool. Oh wow, dude. I guess I'm gonna go with Cleveland. Yeah, Cleveland. Sneaky 3-game winning streak right now, taking 4-5, taking their first 2 games against the White Sox. They're playing the White Sox again tonight. Shane Bieber on the mound against Johnny Cueto. Offensive explosion here for the Guardians. They've scored 18 runs in the last 2 games, which obviously are against the White Sox, so their bats have been pretty hot. And again, I think Shane Bieber, obviously, I feel like he had kind of a rough start to the season, but he is 11-8. He has a 2.83 ERA, over 181 and 1/3 innings pitched, 184 strikeouts, 35 walks. Get up only 16 home runs this season. I feel like he's pretty good. Got stuff under control. I suppose the strikeouts haven't been as high as they were in the past. But Shane Bieber, dude, I think Cleveland can roll through this one again. I would say they score, let's say 6-3 as
6-3,
Main Magic
6-3,
Mike.
the legend,
6-3,
the one, the only
legend.
Main Magic Mike. Emain Duco with a little side play. We could talk about it in a second.
But for a real quick comment, me to the sweet old lady Yankee Stadium who catches Aaron Judge's 60-second home run. And it's all like the hands thing.
Yeah, but I mean, prefer. I think you're going to be at City, so you're going to miss out on the opportunity. So you said 6-3 Guardians, dude. Right?
That's what I said.
All right, so my last pick here, 640 from the Trop. Rays are doing us the solid, Tony. We're getting that magic number down. Jose Barrios on the hill versus Chargios for the Rays here. Barrios, despite 11-5, 4.99 this season, really struggling, really for the whole year. And I just think, disappointing loss last night, versus Philadelphia. And I believe that was in Philadelphia, if I'm not mistaken. So then they go down to Florida, the travel. I think they're going to be a little tired, maybe a little hungover, after a long extra inning game here. So I'm going to say the Rays chase Barrios early. And Rosarena, hasn't hit one recently, sends one out. 4-1 Rays.
Okay. I feel like every time you pick the Rays, they don't win for you.
Look at the numbers.
No, I'm saying every time you pick the Rays, they don't win for you.
I mean, think about how many picks though we've made, Tony. I mean, it's like
every time you pick the Rays,
I'm sure
they don't win.
Well,
for
also
you.
The Rays just aren't that good.
It's like who did you kept picking in hockey? Was it the Predators? Nashville. You have picking Nashville.
No, against Nashville.
Anytime,
And I got burned so much. Then I picked them at the end of the year. Then they
and you
lost.
still got burned.
Yeah, but they suck. So whatever. So I mean, hopefully we get Yankee baseball tonight. Hopefully the Mets, the well-deserved rest here.
Very well deserved. No one even talks about that. Okay, they never get any off days. The Yankees are resting players left and right. They get off days.
Hopefully they get into
the luck.
Milwaukee they get into Oakland at a reasonable hour. The time change. No jet lag.
No.
Oakland
could
get a little wacky. Late nights. So hopefully Chris Bassett
never been
doesn't. Never been either.
You keep talking about places you've never been, and you're like yeah.
Relax, Sonny. There's so much information out there. You know it just as well as me,
but not firsthand.
But listen, I'm just saying, Bassett, the reunion, could
so
get a little emotional.
Information
we saw actually when CC Sabathia used to go west, his family in Oakland, he used to get hammered just because a lot of pressure, stress, tickets,
and he was
seeing
hammered.
Everybody. At that time, he might have been, but
probably hammered.
The thing is, the Mets. I mean, it's all in front of them. Win. Gotta win.
Gotta win, dude.
Stack wins no matter the injuries.
Right.
I guess Marte, they were saying, still needs a little more time. Do we have a timetable?
Not as far as I know. I can look it up though.
Okay. So I think that'll be big for them. Michael, still coming down heavy, or are you kind of lighten up? Yeah. Done? Nothing? No rain.
No rain. Nice.
You think done for the day? That's it. I mean, I know forecasts, but they're always wrong, though. That's the thing. How do they keep their jobs?
Dude, they're always wrong. They said it was going to rain until like 6 o'clock tonight.
Done
now.
Sunny.
It's over.
Sunny, 20 minutes.
Fuck
sunny.
you, stupid weatherman.
Wow, a little aggressive there, Tony.
Well, yeah, because it's so ridiculous, dude. Like, be better at your job. Like, I don't understand how you can't be accurate with weather reports. What do, like, airline pilots do?
That's a good question. But
like, they gotta know.
They probably have better.
But what does that mean? They have better what?
Yeah. No, exactly. Radar, I guess.
Why doesn't the public have that? I know. Suihiko has it. But his app was wrong too. His app was also wrong.
Yeah.
We went over that.
Everybody's wrong.
Everyone's fucking wrong today.
That's the theme here.
Brian's wrong. Marte's been out since number 6. We know that. Just give me a fucking timetable.
You're tight.
Come back in time for a 3-game set in Atlanta. That is the goal.
When is that 3-game set? Is that next week?
Early next week, I suppose, right?
Okay.
I think after Oakland. We can double check here.
So cross-country trip going into Atlanta. Wow. It's a tough stretch.
I could be wrong. Let's check
so
it
much
out
for
here.
that easy, schedule down the stretch.
I know. It's bullshit, dude. People always give the Mets the short end of the stick, and then they yell at them for it. So you have Athletics, and then Marlins, and then Braves.
Wow.
Yeah.
All on the road.
No, Marlins are back home.
Back home, but then Atlanta.
Braves
after.
on the road.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
not that easy, guys.
Yeah. So I mean, that's stressful.
Pieces of shit.
So we'll see how they're able to put it together or not.
Yeah, I hope they will.
I know
they
will.
But
we do have to go now, Tony, to the world of the National Football League.
6 for 101, 2 touchdowns. To Evans, touchdown, Tampa Bay.
How about that throw?
Sam Darnold blasted. Oh my goodness, did he take a hit? In trouble once, brings him down. Lost one from Odell Beckham Jr. Got it down, touchdown.
You hear there's some rough rumors, Odell Beckham Jr., possible Giants reunion.
I heard.
I think that is a fire waiting to break out. Because I mean, how is he not going to get pissed at Daniel Jones unless he says, "Listen, I'll come to New York, but I want Tyrod as a quarterback."
That'd be crazy, honestly. Or maybe I don't know. Why would he want to go back to New York though? Why? Why not just stay in LA?
Maybe the Rams, or they don't want to give. They want to just give him the bare minimum, and he knows the Giants are desperate, but they're in a tough spot actually. So. I don't know. Maybe it's just target share because you know what I mean. Who he would step in and be the automatic number 1 receiver.
Definitely
goes to the Rams. There's Allen Robinson. There's Cooper Kupp. There's Tyler Higbee.
Yeah, but so fucking what, dude? Like you're gonna be part of a winning team.
I know, and he always for years he was yearning to go
win
to the Rams and to win. So that's something to keep an eye out for. But we got Steelers, we got Browns, tonight, 8:15, round 2, Kirk Herbstreit, Al Michaels, Prime Video. So
they did really well round 1. They were saying how like there was a huge uptick in people who signed up for Prime
Okay.
on that day. Like, it's crazy.
But I mean,
actually.
it's
What?
I don't
What?
know. No, I'm saying I
What?
don't think that's directly related to them. I think it's just the fact that it's NFL. People just want to
Oh, no,
see
no, no.
it.
I'm
Will do
saying just
anything.
like in general, NFL and Prime,
Yeah.
people are paying for it. They're going out of their way to watch it, which is so stupid.
You know what
dude.
I would say though,
I think it's
that
nonsense.
kind of really just annoys me is listen, I do think the whole everything has to be streaming, everything has to be on an app. I agree. It's annoying. But the thing that just pisses me off is when people are so dramatic and they just go, "Oh, I'm not gonna be able to watch the game tonight." It's like you can get the app. They act like it's like they have to read Chinese, Tony.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I understand maybe, we're talking about, the 90-year-olds who aren't savvy with this stuff. But I mean, how is this not 95% of the population? You're dialed in, you're locked into a team, you're going to get whatever app you need to get. Like, it's not that
Right.
big of a deal. You could say it's annoying, but to say that you can't watch the game is just ridiculous.
Yeah, but so you got to pay for it.
Right. But I
Right,
mean,
so.
but are you a true fan or not?
No.
They're not.
Yeah.
But it's like, you would do it if you had to. Mets playoffs, you're telling me?
Oh, for the Mets, yeah.
The Mets.
Sure.
Exactly. So I am very interested to see your thoughts on this one. So we think about this. We think about the Steelers with that disappointing loss to the Patriots on Sunday, only a few days ago. And then the Browns, the epic meltdown, end of the game. So you'd imagine that both teams, are playing with some level of a chip on their shoulder here. And I don't know where to go. And I want you to lead off here. I mean, 4.5. And like we did last week, we'll do it again. You could take either side of the spread here. So 4.5 points. I kind of think I know what you're going to do. But I'll leave it up to you. What's your, what spread you want? What's the score? What's going to happen?
Okay. I think I'm going to take the Browns and the spread.
Interesting.
Just because, you look at these last two games, for both teams, that is, the Steelers just losing to the Patriots, what was it, like 17-14, I think.
Mhm.
Obviously not scoring a lot. We talked about how week one, they did a really great job with against Cincinnati, in terms of, using their defense to score a lot of points. And even so, it still took them to overtime and a field goal to win it. And then you get the Browns who yeah, they scored a lot. They've scored 56 points in 2 games here. Of course, obviously you saw the significant breakdown, late against the Jets last week. But they did beat, Carolina in a tight one. And I feel like these two teams that are somewhat, evenly matched, I feel like though in reality, especially now, Pittsburgh last week against the Patriots, although the score doesn't show it, I mean, they gave up a lot of runs, a lot of yardage, and I feel like Cleveland has the ability to score. I mean, they scored a lot. They scored 30 points their last game, 26 points their first game, and I just don't think the Steelers have that type of ability. I mean, we saw them get kind of shut down a little bit, from the Patriots. Trubisky, I don't know, dude. I think he's going to throw a couple interceptions this game. I think he's going to feel some pressure from Cleveland. We see what type of assets they have. I feel like Chubb is going to be able to run all over their defense. And because of that, I would say Cleveland I guess to follow suit how they've been doing in terms of offense, I say Cleveland 27, Pittsburgh 21.
All right. So a tough AFC North matchup here, between the Steelers and the
As
Browns.
my mother says hello.
Hello.
Where's Chokery? Come on, it's the Steelers time.
I know. He might have had to get to the office, though.
It's always tough.
But we know who'll watch the rest of this episode later and be excited what I'm about to say. And look at the Browns, that close victory, 58-yard field goal from New York against the Panthers week 1, the Baker revenge spot. Last week, everything lined up. Nick Chubb, selfishly, touchdown, onside kick, craziness. So it's kind of tough to say. I mean, Brissett has been conservative, but hasn't gotten into trouble. No interceptions yet, 2 touchdowns. Can take off if he needs to. pick up a first down. We know how good Chubb and Hunt are out of the backfield. Cooper made his impact last week. However, the Steelers historically have dominated the Browns, and I just think, with this game coming, only 3 days in between, that epic meltdown, I think there's a little bit of a hangover effect here. I think they're a little dejected, and we talked about it on Monday. That secondary got absolutely toasted late. Corey Davis wide open. So I think, there's some problems there. And I think, Mike Tomlin, he's a smart coach. He sees what he has to work with. And I think, Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool, he'll be creative, and find ways to get them the ball without putting Mitch at risk. So get them open in space. And I think he will, do his best to establish the run here with Najee Harris, because, as he goes, I think Pittsburgh goes, because you think about them, they were obviously, one of the best passing offenses in the league for years with Big Ben and all the receivers they've had over the years. And they draft one this year in George Pickens. He hasn't, made his mark just yet, but you kind of are expecting that. So, and I think they will take advantage too of Jadeveon Clowney being out for this one. So that will make it a little easier to run. So I'm going to say Harris goes for $120 on the ground. I want to say Trubisky, a conservative 15 to 20, 220 yards, hits Deontay Johnson and George Pickens for a touchdown apiece. Chase Claypool, 80 yards total, a couple carries out of the backfield. And I'm going to say Pittsburgh. I'll take that plus 4.5, but I think they are an outright winner here as well. So I'm going to say the Steelers here, 24, the Browns 17.
All right, we'll see. As my mother says, fell asleep last night. Did Judge get the home run?
Judge did not, but the Yankees did get the win. So number 99, Judge. You will see him possibly get it tonight. So definitely tune to that. Mets not on tonight, so Matt, your mother, looking for something on TV, might put on the Yes Network, conceivably, right, or no?
The chances of that happening, Brian, I'm sorry to say, are pretty slim.
I thought you said like she didn't really like it. She likes just like kind of poking fun at me with the Yankees, but she doesn't actually not like the Yankees.
Yeah, I guess sort of indifferent towards the Yankees, but yes, more so poking fun at you for sure.
Would rather watch Wheel of Fortune or Jeopardy or no?
Yeah, definitely, dude. So would I.
Really?
Then the Yankees? Yeah, dude, please.
No, but seriously.
I mean, are we talking like, all right, are we talking like Judge, like in this scenario, like if it was a game like tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably watch the Yankees.
And I think I could see you too doing like, even if it's not that type of scenario, but there is a good pitching matchup, like you're interested.
Yeah, if it's a good pitching matchup, sure. But I mean, honestly, like maybe when the Yankees aren't up, I'll be switching to Jeopardy.
You really watch that much Jeopardy?
Anytime I can.
Really?
I do enjoy Jeopardy.
I haven't watched, in a long time. Do they have a permanent host or they're still rotating people?
No, it's not permanent yet. They have Ken Jennings, who's amazing. And then they have that woman who's on the Big Bang Theory. I forget her name.
Mm-hmm.
She has like a weird name.
Kelsey Kyoko? That was the main character?
Oh, no. The other scientist that was like Sheldon's girl.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
But she's like a real astrophysicist in real life.
Astrophysicist.
She has like a degree in astrophysics. She's actually like really stupid smart, which is why she was so good for that role. Even though that show fucking sucked. My mother says, did care about the win, just the history, or didn't care about the win, just the history. Prefer real Mets fans rather watch Faces of Death than watch the Yanks. And then my mother says, don't care. My mother says, we love Jeopardy.
Amy Fowler.
That was her name in the show. Yes.
Gotcha. Yeah, so really, Tony, that AFC North, there should be an entertaining game. I don't think it'll be a snooze fest by any imagination here. And I guess really the only other thing I was going to touch on is Michael mentioned it, possibly some trouble brewing in Beantown. With how do you say the Udoka? Okay, so they're saying sources are telling ESPN that there is a significant suspension on the horizon for a relationship with coach, Ime Udoka, for a relationship with member of the franchise's staff.
It was consensual. It says that right there on the headline.
And it says, while no final decision has been made, internal discussions have included scenarios that would keep Udoka out for the entirety of the 2022-2023 season. It isn't believed that Udoka's job is in jeopardy. As soon as you read that, that means he's getting fired tomorrow. Every time, though, right? Every time they say that, he's fine, done.
Why? Can I ask why? Like, I understand he's married, right? And it's obviously unethical to have relations, with the head coach and your. But who's the staff? Are we like a medic, like a trainer?
They're not saying.
They can't say?
No.
Which is really annoying. But like staff member, like someone who cleans the court at night, like staff member, or like it can't be that. It has to be someone close, like a trainer or like an assistant. Does he? I mean, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's very interesting that he's going to get suspended for the whole season because of that. I understand, like, it's not a great look. It's unethical. The dude is married to an actress, I think, too, right? Amy, no.
The person from The Big Bang?
No, Amy Fowler. That would be crazy, dude. Who? Nia Long.
But listen, Tony, I know Prefer is probably could give us all the stats, the numbers on this. But I think the thing is here, this kind of reminds me of the Calvin Ridley suspension for this year, the couple bets placed on DraftKings. It's like, I don't know. I just think we are, I guess the only reason that it's not different is like we were saying, it's within the organization.
Right.
But I don't know, man. I just wish at the end of the day, regardless of all of that,
it's so tough.
And I guess it's on the coach, on the people that are doing these things. But I wish we could just focus on sports and not have these type of things come up and affect the outcome on the hardwood. But I guess they make those choices. They put themselves in those,
right.
Those situations.
I mean, you're putting yourself in a position that makes the organization look bad.
Right.
I mean, it is unethical to sleep with someone on your staff.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Not to mention, you are previously married. I understand that, it's one thing if you were single and you started seeing this woman and you disclosed it properly to HR. They know you're in a relationship. This is, behind the curtain type of deal.
But I don't see. But knowing the environment that we currently live in, I mean, I think there's a 0% chance he ever coaches for the Celtics again.
Yeah, and there's no way.
You think Brad Stevens comes down from the front office and then Jaylen Brown requests a trade?
Right. Yeah, especially because like Nia Long, she's like someone who's in the limelight. She has fans. People are going to be outraged that a Doku over here.
What's wrong with our environment though? I just got 2 notifications from ESPN, and it's like this is the type of stuff I get notifications on. So the first one, unvaccinated Novak Djokovic awaiting word on Australian Open status, saying it's really not in my hands right now. I mean, just the fact that I have to get a notification about that. He's the number 1 tennis player in the world. Let him fucking play. What the hell is that? And then the second thing, Utah student allegedly threatened to detonate nuclear reactor on campus if Utes football team lost to SDSU. It's like, what is wrong with people?
Yeah, but that's got to be like a joke, right?
It's got to be a joke. But I hate that. Why is this on my screen?
That's what I mean.
Why does the guy have to do it? Just shut up. Just like live your life.
Yeah.
Stop being an idiot.
Well, even if the guy said it, like who cares? Like, why?
Yeah, like we're really taking him seriously. He has the capability of doing that.
University of Utah, dude. Yeah, okay. What is he? A fucking marketing major?
It's because there's nothing to do there. So
literally, there's nothing to do
there. Stuff that they fill their time with.
But this is reported by ESPN. ESPN sucks, dude. Okay, yesterday. Oh my god, there was one. Okay, this dude. First of all, this guy calls in. He's talking about how he was at the Yankee game when Judge hit his 60th.
No, I was watching on TV. Yeah. I mean, she's gonna break up with you.
Yeah, like you're over, dude.
I was dying laughing.
But then they were just like dragging on this whole. The caller had hung up for probably like at least 7 minutes, and they're dragging it on. Literally.
No, what about how they're talking for 15 minutes about the quality of Michael's call on the Judge home run? It's like, what are you guys talking about? Everybody was roasting him for it. Why are you acting like that's not out there?
Yeah.
I mean,
it sucks, dude.
It's unbelievable, but I guess you could say that's the world that we live in. But
we have
prefer Robert Saver, sell the Suns. How is it punishment when he makes billions? I mean, there's no way to handle this perfectly, you know. So
well, it's still punishment because he obviously doesn't want to.
Yeah,
sell
he doesn't
want
to sell the team,
so,
and it's like, what are you gonna do? You can't take away the team. You can make him sell it, but you can't take away. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I know you love the iron fist policy, but we can't quite do that. So
I'm a firm believer in the iron fist policy as well.
No, eye for an eye.
Eye for an eye.
Harambe, is that what it was?
Harambe's code.
Harambe's code.
Eye for an eye. Yeah. I don't know how eye for eye would kind of work in that situation, but
yeah. But other than that, Tony, I know we've covered a lot here. Anything else you wanted to add?
No, I don't think so. I thought there was something. I definitely saw something yesterday. I'm going to mention in the sports port, but as of right now, it has slipped my mind. So
yeah, but I think great show today. Really appreciate all these comments, the likes, the subscriptions. And we encourage everybody to check out our archives on the YouTube page, as well as the summer, almost fall collection, downtimetv.com. Want everybody to enjoy the day. Let's go Yankees. Enjoy the football later, and we will see you mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.